And if there's ever a project you're proud to see your products in, and I have to thank another member of the audience here, Roger Thomas, for including our products in his hotel. In fact, I was looking out the window and I was looking at the swimming pool downstairs, and I was looking at the mosaics in the swimming pool, and I recognized one of my frames on the design in the bottom of the swimming pool. So next time you read it, and you're in the Wynn and on the Encore, but it's a beautiful hotel. And what I think that's special about that hotel is that it's easy just to copy something, but that had to take things onto another level, another way of thought. It had to be entertaining, it had to be exciting, and that's a challenge. So it was very special, and we see that the hotels that are being built over in Singapore. This is where I live. This is in Singapore. And you'll see some of the large casinos that are going up are being built over there at the moment. This is my offices in Singapore. You've got a great view, actually. You can't really see it there, but those three buildings in the distance here, this is actually the Sands Casino in Singapore. Yeah, so Singapore, again, it was branding itself. Singapore has branded itself by introducing the Formula One Grand Prix 3 years ago. It's branded itself by bringing in great casinos such as Sands. And I'm always fascinated by branding. I said, and Wynn has done a tremendous job in branding their property, both here and in Macau. That was the Sands casino. So it's a lovely little property, but maybe they run out of money in 2008 and 2009, like everybody else did. So there could have been a few finishing touches. Actually, the top deck there is beautiful. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but I'm not promoting Sands, but I thought I'd talk about it whilst it's up here. But it's got so you can see the swimming pool on the edge there. It's worthwhile. It's probably the most successful part of that building. Here's another little video. This one is showing you of Paris, the Paris show. Why are these shows particularly important to me? And I tell you actually what I feel is an advantage to me versus having a permanent showroom. The advantage is that you get to knock it down after 5 days. It takes you about 10 days to put up, 5 days to knock down. And a showroom like this of about just under 3,000 square feet will cost $500,000 each time to do. So you have expensive floor space, the actual building, and actually the bringing people, to man the business. But you can see this is a showroom. This is last September 2009.
This is good.
So that's almost there. Thank you. So actually, when I started this, I mean, I've been a one-man band now for quite some years in this business, and what are the most difficult things? You know where you've got to go to. As a business, you have to self-finance the business. It's such a complicated business. There's so many different parts of the puzzle. So when the early years I was spending a lot of time design, now I don't spend as much time as I need to spend on design, but I spend a lot more effort on because I saw that design, for me, design of product is easy, so I don't have to spend much time doing it. But it's how to get the old image there. So if you say like creators of the world's most fabulous furnishings, you have to create, you have to have stand for something. You know, fabulous is an interesting word. It's not saying the best, it's saying fabulous. So you're on safe ground there. And I hope in many cases we are best in some areas. But I've got the next 2 years is all about is getting things right. I always say, as you said, when Audrey Hepburn you never saw her picking her nose or scratching her, whatever. Why I say that, you can't let your guard down. And still, on parts of my company, we're letting the guard down, and I recognize that. But so we're going around, and actually, my friend over there, Laurent, he's a film director who's done a lot of work on the Moulin Rouge and Crazy Horse. And we have a project this year for the coming year is how to revamp the whole image, or to make the most of the image we have, and to go through that checklist, what you have to do. So it could be everything from the way you're greeted on the telephone, between the way that you receive an invoice, with the way that you open your website. There's a very long checklist. So my checklist is, I'll put Chanel up the top there. That's a great checklist. So my inspiration is Chanel, because you walk in there and everything is right. And so I would love to become the Chanel of our business. I would just wish I had another 10 years or to do it all in, but I will anyway. So that is the task. So you'll see over the next few years separation of the collections, a very clear identity when the showroom comes together, creating exciting showrooms which are both have the functionality as well as the wow factor, clear identity with the brand. We are expanding into distribution centers here in the United States as well as Europe. So our markets are pretty much 25% of my market here is in the United States, 25% in Europe, 25% Middle East, 25% in Asia. We set up quite a few showrooms in Asia, in actual China, and someone say, well, why would you set up there? They're going to copy your product. It's true, they do. But I said, well, if you can't beat them, you join them. And you have to also look at there's a different philosophy of the way that they're working in China. What I mean by that is that they will go out, and it's a business proposition, and they will make the most of that. It's nothing, I accept that, because it's their rules, and everybody plays by different rules. And the global rules are their rules. So rather than complain about it and the copies that take place, I say, okay, we have to make the most of it. That's the world that we live in, and that's the challenge that we face. But to meet that challenge, what is very important is that we have to ensure that our brand is very strong, and that once we have that very strong branding, then that will give you, so you'll have always the Chanel copies, but there's always those who will always go down to buy the Chanel, the real McCoy. And then I think the market is big enough for all of us, and so that's the way that I look at it. Why did the cross legs become a signature? I think it came about because I knew I had to do something different. I sometimes go down to design schools and they win a competition, and the winner is this chair that looks... When I see something which is, I think sometimes awards are given to designers of furnishings, which young students at colleges, and to do the most way out particular chair, rather than, and I always look at something, it has to be commercially viable. So when I was looking at the chair, I just saw a four-legged chair. How do I come up with something? There had been attempts in the past to do a three-legged chair, so you have one leg at the back, but I said never had been anything with a cross-legged chair. And I said it just one of those eureka moments, and it just sort of seemed to all fit. So I don't think you have too many of those in a collection, but again, it was important for me because it's one of those things, as I mentioned, in a collection you have to be known for something. So the cross, crisscross, and it actually worked very well for my name as well, the crisscross. But I'm never cross, so don't worry. So that's how that came about. Yeah. When you're moving from mirrors to lifestyle, is that there are whole rules change. That in a lifestyle collection, you can't have, if you had 100 beautiful girls in this time and 100 handsome guys on the other side, depending which way you're inclined, you wouldn't know which one to look at. But if you have someone that stands out, oh, look at that person, he's handsome, over there's beautiful, they stand out. And in a room, you need to have good-looking pieces and then one or two outstanding pieces. If even one is enough, just to take your eye to that piece. And that is quite a challenge for me, moving from, whereas in mirror frame, each one had to stand out, was meant to be the center of attention. So I had been used to creating pieces which were meant to be center of attention. But you put too many pieces which are center of the attention, then people say, oh, this collection is not for me because it's too way out. And that's why those more, may I say, more elaborate, ostentatious pieces are being moved over to the Galleria collection, so that people can pick them as individual pieces rather than confusing them with a full lifestyle collection. I think one of the most important projects, I remember when I opened my first factory, was workshops. I didn't think, you opened the doors, I didn't think anybody was ever going to come and buy because I had all of these frames on the wall. And I was ending up showing everyone the building. It was not that building, it was like a bamboo building. And so I didn't have confidence in what I was doing because I'd never done it before. I say not confidence, I didn't expect them to buy. I thought there must be better things out there to buy. Actually, Roger may not know this, but one of the most important projects that we started off with was actually the Bellagio. And for us, I think it represented about coming around $500,000 of orders back in those years. And that was, for a small company, that was a big deal back then. And so that was great. I think I was happy to do projects that you feel happy with. The Devil Wears Prada, that was a project that I was very happy to be working with because it was Vogue and it was what my little world that I dream of, I guess. And the other one I always dreamt of was James Bond. And so when we did Casino Royale, so they only wanted my furniture, they didn't want me, unfortunately. So it didn't all go according to plan. But so there's a lot of these little moments that bring you happiness. You know what brings me happiness? To see you all sitting here, because I'm very blessed to have you all come and think, well, let's go and sit down, let's waste half of our mornings listening to this guy speak. And I'm very pleased, and that these moments are very special to me. That anyone who uses my product, I'm always very grateful for that, and very honored that you're all here to be taking part in this talk today and on my presentation. I can't thank you all enough, and please feel free to contact me anytime you wish. If you ever want my email address, it's just chris@christopherguy.com. So it's very easy to contact me. And anything that I may be able to help you out with, I would love to be able to help any of you out. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.